sent out that came to our house, he says this: "It's clear to me, and I hope it's clear to you, that the professional politicians and the mainstream media have one goal in mind: pitting Americans against Americans. These are the United States of America. As soon as we remember that and start working together, there's nothing we cannot accomplish or do. First and foremost, I am a Christian, I am a husband, I am a father, and I am a businessman, and we are honored to have with us tonight Herschel Walker."
Before every speech, I always acknowledge my Lord Jesus Christ, because he said if you don't acknowledge him, he's not going to acknowledge you. And I'm not knocking on him to let me in. I always acknowledge my wife, Julie, as well, because when you're married, you're not two anymore, you're really one. And so whatever I go through, she go through it as well. And one of the things, everyone knows that I'm not a politician. I wasn't born a politician. But I am a man of God, and I love the Lord. I told everyone, prayer day last Thursday, I was shocked when they said it was prayer day. And I'm like, I pray every day. I need one day to pray. But one of the things I tell people when I decided to run, because everyone asked me, why am I running? And I said, guys, I have found the American dream.
Yes.
I've been knocked down so many times, but I've gotten up. Because I said everybody know the glory, but they don't know the story. Because I got a story. And I grew up, an hour and 45 minutes from here, in a little town called Wrightsville, Georgia. That if you got 1 year to live, you move there. Forever, same old. And my mom told me I was big bone, which meant I was fat. And people don't know I used to have a speech impediment. I couldn't put a sentence together. So for 4 years of my life, I never spoke in a classroom. 4 years of my life, I never went out for a recess. I used to sit in the corner and never said anything. And I remember in the last day of school in the 8th grade, I decided to go out for recess, and the kid by the name of Anthony Logan, he jumped on me and he beat me up. I still remember his name. Well, sometimes I'm Facebooking and tweeting and trying to find him. Not to do anything, but I would think him. Because he didn't just beat me up, he woke me up. So that's the day of my life. I quit feeling sorry for myself. I started working out. And going to the library, getting books, reading and stuff, where I overcame. Where I got a chance to go to college. I got a scholarship to go to college. Now, I didn't just get a scholarship to go to college on the athletic field. I got academic scholarships to go to college. People don't know that. But I'll tell y'all a secret. I didn't really want to go to college. I want to go to the Marines. I want to be a Marine. And I'll tell you what, our men and women of the military are the reason we're the greatest country in the world.
Yes.
Our men and women of this military is the reason that we have strength. And you hear these great words from all your politicians that stands up and talks about peace through strength. That's all they said, peace through strength. And I'm going to tell you right now that if we don't support our military and back our military, we will have no strength.
That's right.
I can promise you we're going to have no peace. Because these other countries don't like us. Well, I want to go to the military, but I couldn't tell my mom and dad, Mom, Dad, I don't really want to go to college. I want to go to the military. I couldn't tell them that. So I waited them out. Until Easter Sunday, my mom came to me and she said, Bo, because my nickname is Bo. Whenever you mention Bo, people think of Bo Jackson. But I'm going to tell y'all another secret. Bo Jackson never beat Herschel Walker in anything. Bo, don't you think it's time for you to decide where you're going to go to school at Easter Sunday? And I said, before I could say something, she said, but let me tell you this. If your mind and your heart is pure to the Lord Jesus, no matter what decision you make, God will make it right for you. You'll be on a teenager. I said, okay, then I'm flip a coin. I flipped the coin to decide whether to go to the military or go to college. It came for me to go to the college. And I go, crap. I'm mad at God and going to let me do what I want to do. So I decided I was not going to the University of Georgia. I decided to flip a coin between Clemson and Georgia. First flip, Georgia wins. I said the best out of 5. Sometime, and I said, wait, Mom, Dad, I love USC. I love USC out in California because I felt USC win this coin toss. Yeah, let me go to the military. First flip, Georgia wins. Next flip, USC. Next 2 times, Georgia. And I said, wait. And this is honest truth. I don't pull the names out of a bag. I put Georgia all 3 times. And I said it, decided then, I'm going to Georgia, and I didn't even mean it then. I went outside to play with my younger brother, Lorenzo. They called up Coach Dooley and all the reporters. It's Herschel decided he's coming to Georgia. And I showed up that day. Everyone showed up at my home that night. I was too embarrassed to tell them I was joking. That I signed to go to the University of Georgia and I really didn't want to go. And I remember this. I said, I got a chance. Because nobody from Wrightsville, Georgia ever dreamed of going to college to play football. I got a chance to go play football. That can only happen in the United States of America.
Yes.
It can only happen here. People don't know I also got a chance to play for 15 years of pro ball. That doesn't happen because a life expectancy for a running back in the NFL is only 3 to 4 years. I played 15 years of pro ball. I got a chance to be on the 1992 Olympic bobsled team. There's absolutely no snow here in Georgia. I'm most proud of one of my life to be on an Olympic bobsled team representing the United States of America. I got a chance to win a Heisman Trophy. I'm from Wrightsville, Georgia. And then I said, God, this was so funny. When I got out of football, and I had some problems. They said I had a mental problem. This was so weird. I don't drink. I never tasted beer. I never had any alcohol. I never had a drug. I don't even take medicine. But they said I had a mental problem. I'm like, wait, how can I have a mental problem? I got good grades in school. I won a Heisman Trophy. I've done all these great things. Then I realized we all fall short of the glory of God. So I went to the hospital. And I took care of it because I would talk to my parents. If you got a problem, you take care of those problems. And I prayed, and all of a sudden I got out of that hospital. And this was so fun. I left that hospital and started a business. I've heard people talk about my business. Let me tell you about my business. You know, for about 20-something years, I started a business in Savannah, Georgia. And this is how I started this business. Someone from Conrad called me up. So Herschel, we're going to get some bread and profile. And I said, what are you talking about? But to get him on my back, I asked my mom and sister how to make chicken. I gave him these recipes. And all of a sudden, the guy called me a couple of weeks later, so Herschel, we want you to come to Iowa. I went to Iowa, and he said, we put the cart before the horse. These bread and profile you gave us, we're manufacturing those products. As a matter of fact, we're selling them to Cisco, the largest food distributor in the world. He said, I didn't get the name of your company. I ain't have a company. But I stayed in a Renaissance hotel the night before. So I said, my company is Renaissance Man Food Service. And but after going through all this thing and not telling the truth, I left that place, but I came up with these bright ideas. I can hire my family now to work for me. I don't have to give them money anymore. And I started thinking I can hire a lot of people in the University of Georgia, all these big ideas, but let me tell you what. Don't hire your family to do anything. I never wanted to cry before I hired my family to work for me. But my mom said, boy, it's your fault. I said, what do you mean it's my fault? She said, sometimes you want more for someone else than they want for themselves. I said, your brother and sister don't want to run a company. They don't want to work overtime. I said, you're okay with it. And then she threw something at me that I couldn't believe she did. She said, if they asked you to play quarterback, could you play? No matter how much they try to get me to be a quarterback, that's not me. So I fired every last one of my brothers and sisters. Now I pay him a little bit of money to stay away from me. That meant I got to run this company. So for 5 years, almost 5 days a week, I was at a food show where I would cook the chicken, display my booth. I would sell the chicken and all this, and I'd take down the booth. I slept in airports. I didn't need to do that. I slept in airports because I missed my plane because I was trying to take my booth down. People would come. I would take pictures. I would hug babies. I'd do all this stuff. They'd write me an order. They'd go home and cancel that order. Yeah, they canceled that order. They gave me like this for 5 years, but I stayed with it. And then someone gave me a chance. So today that company is one of the largest minority-owned food service companies in the United States of America. Which can only happen in the United States of America. But no, brother, listen to this now. So all of a sudden, remember, I want to be in the Marines. All of a sudden, I wrote a book. I don't know if y'all know I wrote a book. that was on New York bestseller at one time. In today's world, it may not be, because now they say I'm a Republican. And they say if you're a Republican and black, you don't know what you're talking about. That's what I wrote this book, and this book started selling. Can you believe it? So I started working in the mental health space. So this is what was so funny. Over 15 years, almost a little more than 15 years, for 3 weeks, every 3 weeks, I was at a military base somewhere in the world trying to remove the stigma of mental health. So I started a program called Patriot Support. So UHS, the largest behavioral health hospital in the world, dedicated 40 hospitals to my company, to the group that I was working with. And we started treating military servicemen and women. Where I would go to a base somewhere and I'd teach teach combatants, and then I'd talk to them, they're no shame to ask for help. We started averaging anywhere between 45 to 4,900 soldiers a year. So I started doing that. That was absolutely amazing. And then somebody decided, we're going to put Herschel on a publicly traded board. Can you believe that? This little black kid from Rice, Georgia, that they said can't get an ID. Can you believe it? They put me on this publicly traded board and stuff, and I sit on a publicly traded board, and then all of a sudden, I started seeing what was going on in this country. And I went, what? They said, we're so racist. I've been taught to y'all about racism, because in my family, I got white, I got black, I got Asian, I got Spanish, I got Italian, I got all kinds of, I'm part Native American. I even got a Russian girl in my family. Can you believe it? I'm serious. I got a Russian girl, beautiful young lady. She's given me 3 beautiful nephews. My nephew who's in the military married this beautiful Russian girl. And I'm gonna tell you, we're all mutts in my family. And I love every last one of them. And I'm gonna tell you something you may not know, 23andMe has screwed y'all all up. You don't know what you are. But one thing I know you are, you're an American.
Amen.
That's what you're an American. It is time that we think that we're an American. And we elect people to offices that believe in America. Because what we've done is our fault. We put people in this country and they're representing this country that don't believe in America. That should have been the first thing when they went to office. Do you believe in America, and do you believe in the Constitution? If you don't believe in that, you shouldn't run for office in this country.
Amen.
Because right now, we got people in this country right now that seem to be putting America second. You know, America is great when we're leading. When we're the leaders, that's when America is great. Right now, we're not great. We're worried about the Green New Deal. Let's be honest. I can guarantee you Russia, China, and Iran are not worried about no Green New Deal. They're not worried about no gender identification. We're out here worried about what is a woman. Isn't that written in the Bible? In the Bible, why are we concerned about things that we shouldn't be concerned about? What we should be concerned about is the gas prices.
That's right.
What we should be concerned about is groceries. What we should be concerned about is fund the police. Whoever came up with that dumb idea. But people say it's not politically correct, Herschel. Well, it's a stupid idea. You should fund the police. Everybody wants public safety. Yes. But now they decided we're going to fund the police. But let me tell you, they still got it wrong. You can fund the police, but you got to have their backs. Just funding them ain't going to help our men and women in blue put it on the line every day.
That's right.
And yet we're like going to put them down. Whoever thought of that? But yet we got people in office that's doing it. They're afraid to talk about it. They're afraid to talk about race. They're afraid to talk about things that's sensitive. It hurts your feelings. Well, this country is at stake right now. When they talk about energy independence, do you know what they're talking about? You know, he did give up the pipeline, but you know something else he's doing too? You know, he don't even allow them, because the government now have all these mandates, you can't do anything. But yet we go to these other countries with these same mandates and get products from over there and bring them over here and sell them. Why don't we remove the mandates from over here so we can get people back to work? We can get them with jobs. That's what we need to do. And they tell me I had why
All right. Yeah, there you go.
I am sick and tired of this. And I said, I'm a warrior for God. I'm not no politician.
Yes.
And you know, I happened to sit down with a couple of ministers. And they really kind of interesting. Because some ministers think they're better than you. But I'm telling you they're not. Because I talk to God too. Me and homeboy, we get along pretty good. So I told him, I said, guys, I'm a little bit confused. I'm not asking any minister to tell somebody to vote Democrat or Republican. What I am asking you to do is vote about the 10 Commandments.
Yes.
That means vote about the policy. What policies is right for you? Because right now, thou shalt not kill is one of the 10 Commandments. Where you have judges that letting criminals out of jail, making them heroes, Hey, that's not the right thing to do.
That's right.
They're stealing. People breaking into stores. You see how they go loot stores and people just standing up letting them do it? It's like, where's these? You can't do that. Where are we living at today? What are we doing? What are we doing to each other? But we've elected people to office that forgot about it because they want a sound bite. You seen them? They went down to the border, remember? About a couple of months ago, they were down at the border. It was so hot. The border was everything. They made all this sound bite, but all of a sudden they left. What have they done? Zero. Nothing. But yet now everybody coming into this country. Like it's supposed to be. This country is open wide. Let's do it. Other countries have walls around them, not to keep people from coming in, to keep people from leaving. That's what's so funny. America is so great, they try to keep people from leaving because nobody want to live there. They want to come here. And no matter how bad we are, you still see them want to come over here because this is a better place. You remember when that young man gave his baby to an American soldier over the wall?
Yeah.
Think about it. You giving your child to someone else that don't even know the language, don't even know what it is, because you know he's going to have a better life with you there than at home with you. That tells you how great America is. But we got to get people in office that believe the same thing we believe. And I'm ready to say, if you don't like America, leave it. Hey, it's easy. You can leave it, but if you're gonna go, lose your citizenship here, and then you come back, go through the proper channels, because we gotta have rules and regulations here too. Even in the great garden of Adam and Eve, God said, from this place here, you have total freedom. But you touch or eat from that tree, you will surely die. They were held to responsibility. So that's what we got to get back to. Holding people to responsibility, not just sound bites. I seen how many congressional hearings they have in Washington. Everybody go to a hearing. Have you seen anybody been punished for anything? They just have you go on TV. They're always on TV. They're getting better coverage than movie stars. But movie stars ain't doing the right thing either. We're not putting our kids down because they said, oh, you can't do it. Yet they did. Oh, you're oppressed because you're white. Oh, you got white privilege. Like, white privilege, don't you work? Hey, I'm oppressed because I'm black. I'm like, God, this was so funny. I hear these great words from, you heard from Martin Luther King, not the color of your skin, but the content of your
Yes.
Have they forgotten about that?
Yes.
Have they forgotten about JFK when he said, no, ask not what your country can do for you, but ask what you can do for your country. Guys, this is America. This is the United States of America. We have a flag. But we got people who want to change it. We got people who want to change the national anthem. I said, guys, I'm going to tell you about this flag and the national anthem. You remember Francis Scott Key, this goes way back.
Yeah.
When he went over to the British ships because he was going to swap prisoners. If you remember this little story. Because this is true. He was going to swap prisoners with the British ships and stuff because America had some of the prisoners over there. He was going to swap the American prisoners. But when he got over to the boat, the captain of the British ship said, oh, well, no. We're not going to do it that way. What we want you to do is lower your flag. Now, we're not going to lower ours, but we want you to lower your flag. And he said, well, sir, I'm not sure if we can do that. He said, you know what, you see all these ships we got out here on this ocean? We got enough weapons out here. We will take that flag down. And he was like, oh, well, do what you got to do. And they started shooting at that flag. So when you hear the national anthem, the red glare in the air and all that, and those British ships shooting at our American flag. They shooting at the American flag, and you hear at the end of the national anthem when they said, and all of a sudden when everything cleared and everything was over, that flag was still there.
Amen.
The flag stayed there because every time that flag was getting ready to hit the ground, a dead body laid against it to keep it up. And I'm like, who has paid the price? Who paid the price to put the flag down? Who paid the price to put the national anthem down? It is time that we stand up and say, no, enough is enough.
That's right.
Enough is enough. And now when they start messing with your kids, like, whoa. They want to teach your kid. Let's talk. Are they serious? The government can't even take care of themselves, but they want to teach your kid. They want to teach your kid how do you identify? Are you serious? Making kids feel bad because of that color of their skin. Like, is that not wrong?
Yes.
Because they want to start out when they're young. Because we know better. So they started out when they're young. God, we can't stand for this.
Yes.
You know, I met a young man named Alex. Alex was from Ukraine, and Russia had Ukraine. Alex was from Ukraine. Alex today is he's the chaplain of the police in Forsyth County. He's the chaplain of the police department. Well, Alex was in Ukraine, and his family were arrested and thrown in prison. Do you know what he was thrown in prison for? They were Christian. They were thrown in prison because they were Christian. That's the only crime they've done. They threw him in prison in the great State Department of the United States of America. Got his family out and brought him over here. And Alex was sitting there and he said, you know, today I am the chaplain for the Forsyth Police Department. But he said, I also got a chance to go to college. He said, I got a chance to go to college. As a matter of fact, I'm an engineer. And he said, in my country, I'm not the status to go to college. He said, I would have to bribe someone to get to go to college. And he said, this bakery you're standing in right here is my wife's bakery. She opened this up. She getting ready to open up another location. And he said something that was so powerful that we got to see that's happening. He said, in my country, and this is right when Russia had, in my country, all those vaccines that they're trying to test and find out with, they can come into the schoolhouse and test them on your kid without your say-so. That's what they could have done in Ukraine, which is what they're trying to do right now, have one mindset with the government. Government tells you what to do. Remember, they want to take your guns. They want to take your guns. They want to get rid of the Constitution. They want to get rid of all of that. But let me tell you guys something that we must realize. The Constitution is one of the second greatest thing written in the Bible. It was written in the 1700s. Which meant that back then, whoever wrote the Constitution could have been a racist. I don't know, could have been. I don't know, but when you read the Constitution, because I read it because I love Judge Judy, so I read everything. So, as I was reading the Constitution, most of the Constitution don't talk about racism. It talks about man being treated fair. So why don't we hold people that we elect to office to hold true to the Constitution? Because then we can get out of a lot of this stuff we're in right now. We can get out of if people go to Washington and do what they're supposed to do. That means go to Washington and represent the people that sent them there. Not represent themselves. But that's what we're doing right now. But everybody's afraid because what they may be called. Because you know, now if you disagree with somebody, they're going to call you a racist. They've been calling me a racist. Can you believe that? I had someone, I don't know if y'all seen all the hit pieces. I didn't get it. I was like, wow, there's some things I don't even know about myself. But I was shocked. And they wrote this in the paper. Y'all like, these are sensitive things that people don't like me to talk about, but I don't care. They called me a coon. The other day, can you believe that? And I'm like, guys, they don't realize a coon is one of the smartest animals in the field. Call me about something a lot dumber than a coon. They're one of the smartest one. It's like, this ain't about calling names. This ain't about what you want to do, saying you're a Republican or you're a Democrat. Why don't you be an American and fight for what is true for America? I say in this country, you have so many rights that we've taken for granted. You have so many privileges that we've taken for granted. But we have people that we've elected to office that have forgotten the reason they should be there. Herschel Walker happened. I love my son. You know, I asked my son, Christian, who's interesting. He's in college. And I'm going to vent for a little bit because he's an interesting young man. He is interesting. He's in college. He's at UCLA. But he speaks 4 different languages. 4 different languages. And he writes them. He writes the languages where he speaks Chinese, French, and Spanish, and English. But he don't know how to write me a text. His text says LUBU. I have no clue what that means. And I'm like, dude, at least write 40 words or less. But that was me venting. But I asked my son about 2 months ago, and it really hurt my feelings to ask him this. Because I didn't know what Christian put down, because he's black, Italian, and Spanish. I didn't know what he put down on his sheet as his race. And I felt guilt. It made me sad. Because I asked him, I said, Christian, what do you put down? She said, Dad, I won't deny you or deny my mom. He said, so I'm an other. That made me say, son, you're not an other, you're an American.
Yes.
And so a year and a half ago, and is this right, Julie? Julie, get off phone. Is this right? Okay. I found out something from my mom. My mom, I found out that my mom was a big part Native American. I didn't know this. And I just found this out a year and a half ago. And I asked my mom, why you never said anything to us, Mom? She said, well, back then, Native Americans were treated worse than blacks.
Mm-hmm.
And I went, wow.
Mm.
And I said, that means I'm part Native American, so I'm going to start putting out other too on my until they realize that I'm an American.
Yes.
And I said, I saw something, they gave China the Olympics. I disagreed with it. Even Ms. Pelosi, I disagreed with it too, because she didn't go. But she told all the athletes, don't act up because China's a bad place, but yet she didn't go, but yet we're still doing business with China. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
But it was something interesting happened. I don't know if you guys saw this, because I wasn't going to watch it. I wasn't going to watch any of the Olympics, but I don't sleep. I'm up all night. 3 in the morning, I'm watching TV, I'm doing what's called TV surfing, and the Olympics are on. And they got the bobsled. So I'm going to watch it. I watch a little bit. I'm only going to watch a little bit. Well, it just so happened, I watched this spot. And this lady, God, just tell you how good God is. I watched this spot, and I don't know if y'all saw this. That was a young lady from Douglasville, Georgia, won the silver medal on a senior Olympics.
Wow.
In the bobsled. I don't know if y'all saw that. Did y'all see that? Saw that? A black woman. She was black. She won the silver medal. And this was so interesting. Do you know she was in covert protocol that she didn't even practice that much, but she won the silver medal. The one that won the gold medal was an American as well, who just now got their citizenship in December because she was from Canada. But something that was very interesting that shocked me, there was a black woman on the Canadian team, and they called the one from Douglasville an African American from the United States of America. But the black woman from Canada, they call her a Canadian. Why don't they call her a black Canadian? Why are they doing it to us?
Yes,
Because
yes.
they need votes.
Yes.
They want separation. That's why they're doing it. They want us to separate. They want us emotional. They want us fighting. It's time for us to stop. It's time for us to do the right thing. Time for us to get back to prayer.
Yes.
Time for us to get back to what we're supposed to be doing. Time for us to get back to believing in this country. And I'll take some questions, but I want to leave it with one thing. I don't know, have you ever heard a story about these 2 older gentlemen that love baseball? They love baseball so much that as one got older, he was getting ready to go leave and meet his maker. And as he's laying at his in the hospital bed, the other guy came in and said, Harold, can you do me a favor? Can you do me a favor? And Harold said, what can I do for you? I'm about to leave this world. He said, can you let me know if there's baseball in heaven? Harold thought that was a strange request. If I can, I would do. Harold passes away. A couple of weeks later, the other guy was working in his backyard on a bright sunny day like today. And this cloud started coming towards him. It had to be something different. And he knew it had to be Harold. So he ran up to this cloud and he shouted, is there baseball in heaven? Is there baseball in heaven? And the voice from this cloud said, well, I got some good and bad news. He said, I don't care about that. Is there baseball in heaven? He said, the good news is there is baseball in heaven. And the guy goes, yes! He said, the bad news is you're pitching tomorrow. The reason I tell you that, your early voting started May 2nd.
Yes.
And then get the vote is May 24th. Got to get out and elect the right person. Person that going to stand for this. Person that's going to stand up and fight. And I'm going to tell you something else now. They told me I need to mention this because I was shocked. Guys, they told me I've been living in my basement. I don't have a basement here. I've been out on the trail working. I don't know if you've seen it, but this was so interesting. I was in some places that they didn't know that they get to vote twice. I said, no, you have to vote in the primary and the general. And if you voted Democrat before, you got to ask for a Republican ballot. Cause I got a lot of people that are switching over. So I had to tell them, don't vote. and stuff. And so I want to remind you, tell all your friends, don't care if they're Democrat either, because I think of crossing over. I think of going to talk to them. You don't care if they're guys, be friendly. Talk to them, because they know what's right. And I'm going to leave y'all with this, and then I'll take the question, because y'all close your eyes, you can visualize this, because I always leave everybody with this. Because I'm going to win this primary,
Yes.
and I'm going to go up in November against Senator Raphael Warnock. It's going to be special. This is going to be very special. And what's going to happen, he's going to get ready to go to vote. And in that voting thing, you know, they're going to have him dressed nice, because he's always dressed nice, because he's a pastor. So he got a suit on all the time with a tie. Because I don't wear a tie. My neck is too big to wear a tie. So I don't wear a tie. But he's going to walk into that voting district and stuff, that precinct and stuff. He's going to walk in and stuff, and they're going to have the cameras. So, you know, now they love all the Democrat people. They love them. They don't like the Republican people that much. They're going to be taking pictures and all this. As he walk in, he's going to be looking good. Going to have all the cameras taking pictures and stuff. But they got one problem. The problem is he got to walk around that curtain by himself. And when he walk around that curtain by himself, he's going to be all alone. And he's probably going to peek over the top to make sure nobody's looking, nobody can see him. And then he's going to look down and see the ballot. And he's going to see Senator Raphael Warnock. But he's going to see Herschel Walker. And because I think he's a good man, he's going to mark Herschel Walker because he knows I'm the best man for him. Thank you guys. And I say to you, right now, I heard a young man earlier say something that was very true. Don't just vote for a federal election, vote for the local as well.
Yes.
Getting people on the right school board, getting the right local officials in, and they gotta be able to get along. We gotta take this serious right now. We gotta get out and vote. Most precious thing we have. We gotta get out and vote. God bless you guys. Hey, thank you, and thank you guys. If you want me to take questions?
One second.
You okay?
Take some questions.
Yeah, I take questions. You want to? They say I didn't take questions. I'm like, I always take questions. People don't like what I say, but
No. But we have a standing rule here. I will cut you off if you're giving a diatribe and not asking a question. If Herschel says he'll take questions, that's what we want, questions. We don't want your opinion. Okay? So, I'll let you
pick who's going to ask the question, because they said I maybe sit someone in the audience, but I don't know anyone here, do I?
Does anybody know Herschel?
So, Herschel, since you mentioned Reverend Pastor Raphael Warnock, last week he reaffirmed he is for abortion. What are your thoughts?
Well, first of all, I'm a Christian, and I don't apologize for it. I believe in life. I totally believe in life, and I'm totally shocked that he is a pastor. That's what he believes in. But in American people, we can do that.
Yeah.
You know that. We can agree to disagree. I just disagree with him, and I'm totally shocked that a pastor will say that. And you know, to be honest with you, he says it, but he don't really say it. Because he said everybody can't fit in the same room, so it's a feel-good pastor. He don't really want to go too far out there, so he try to keep in the middle of the line. But I'm telling you right now, I believe in life. I'm not going to apologize for it. From the womb to the tomb. That's what I've always believed, because I'm saying you don't know what that baby gonna be.
That's right.
Yes.
Who else? Who's next?
Scott. I was a student here in 1982 when you were a football player. I was just wondering, we won the national championship in 1980. Do you have any idea why it took 42 years? For real.
You know what the reason it took 42 years is we wanted people to really enjoy the 80 championship and stuff. And then when you don't have it, you really appreciate winning the next one.
Yes.
So we appreciate winning the next one, but I can promise you, we got a chance to win another. Alabama's good though, people. Alabama got a lot of people coming back, and I tell you what, I think Coach Smart has done one heck of a job. His recruiting has done one heck of a job. And I think we got another chance to repeat. But, we can't take anything for granted. That's just like right now, I don't know if you've seen that, I'm up in the polls, can you believe it? But I told my team, I want y'all to go like we're 20 points down.
That's right.
Because I said, we're working. Guys, I don't sleep, and I apologize to my wife, Julie, guys, and she don't sleep as much, she sleep a little bit more than I do. I sleep maybe 3 hours a night. But I've been doing that forever, so don't think that's bad. But she's doing almost the same, but we're wearing our milks out. We go 12, 15 hours a day. I love to work. And I'm gonna tell you something and I've never said this in front of an audience. My military program was the best thing I've ever done in my life. I'm like, it's better than the Heisman Trophy. My military program where I can try to remove the stigma of mental health. Right now, running for this seat is the best thing I've ever done. Because I said a lot of people they've lost respect for our elected officials.
Yes.
And when I go in and meet with people, I give them hope. I give them hope that it's gonna be okay. But we gotta do it together. That's what's so funny. I'm gonna tell you right now, we can't do it by fighting. We can't do it by fighting each other. That's what we seem to do is fight. Like, if you're a Democrat, I gotta hate you. If you're this, I gotta hate you. You can't do it like that. I don't know if y'all saw today, they didn't put it out because it's something good. I got some people in my Republican side that see me saying bad things about me. Can you believe that? I was like, wow, they don't like me either. Because I invited them to the picture party of all of us. Because somebody got to lose, somebody got to win. So if I lose, I'm going to have them right there to hold their hands up because I said, we got to support each other. We got to support each other and quit fighting among each other all the time. Look at the left. The bad policies that they're releasing on this country, they all agree with it. How in the world can so many people agree with bad things? But that's what's great about America. We can agree to disagree. So that's why I say that we gotta quit some of the stuff we're doing and get people that believe in this country. Sorry about that.
Right? Yes, ma'am.
I'm just saying something. My husband was in the Air Force and we were stationed in Fort Walton during football season. The day of the game, our cable went out. I left my husband, we lived off base. I left him babysitting the kids and I went to the MCO club so I could watch the ball game.
You're a heck of a Georgia fan, huh?
When I was in high school, I was a Tech fan.
But everyone meant the States.
The two of our sons played for Georgia, so
See, that's a,
that was our hard Georgia fan.
well, see, I think that's a good thing. And Georgia really, I don't know if y'all saw the draft. Was that not amazing? How the guys in the draft was Georgia? I said that was amazing.
Linda?
Yes. I read and look at news from all sides all the time. They were giving you a lot of grief because you did not attend the debate. Can you explain why you did not?
That was a lot of reasons I didn't attend. Well, one reason, and I got abducted into the racial hazard, y'all don't know what that is, but look it up. And the next reason was
in the U.S. Supreme Court.
In the Supreme Court, anyway. But the next reason was it was interesting. When I decided to run, I had senators. I'm not going to call their name. They called me out and they asked me 2 questions. They didn't even ask Herschel how you doing, Herschel you're ugly, Herschel anything. You know what they said to me? They said, "Can you raise money?" And then they said, "Can you get people to change over?" I don't know if y'all seen, but I've been in the top 3 fundraisers on the Republican side, which is unheard of for a newcomer, the last 3 cycles that I've been in. And I've been getting people to change over. I'm not going to say the same thing about my opponent. They're not doing it. But yet they want me to come and make them look good when I'm out meeting the people. I said, I want the people to know who I am.
Yes.
I'm not here to entertain nobody. I want the people to know I'm running and I'm not a football player. I'm running because I'm the best man for this job. So that's one reason I decided not to run. And then the next thing was, I said, I noticed that on a debate, because there are so many of them, most all of them was only getting like 2 questions. Now y'all get a chance to sit here and listen to me talk. Do you not think it's better for me to do that than to debate where we're arguing, fighting with each other? I'm like, guys, why I want to fight with you guys? I love you guys. Because when you love someone, you got them in your heart. But when you hate someone, you're in their mind. So I must be in all of mine, but they talk about me all the time on the debate. They promote me so well and stuff. But I do love them. I'm inviting them to my party and they turn me down. Can you believe that? I'm like, guys, this was so funny. I told people, I'm getting in this race so I want to bring the party together.
Yes.
When you turn me down, that means you're about yourself. You're not about the party.
Well, I love your answer because that's exactly what I was hoping you'd hear.
Oh, well,
Because
thank you voting for me, aren't
because
you?
you'd rather be out.
Wait, are you voting for me?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, wait. I gotta ask for the vote. Have you voted already?
No, I haven't.
Well, that means that you don't sure right now. I gotta make sure that we don't want to have a battle. We can get rid of it.
No.
Oh, no, we can't do that. Hey,
accept the donation? What's the best way to get you money?
Well, are you serious?
Yes.
Did you go to teamherschel.com?
by Google.
Did you go to teamherschel.com? So all y'all want to go to teamherschel.com to donate?
Yeah, we went there next, and I still wasn't able to make a contribution.
Well, I'm gonna get that straight real quick. First of all, that's where you're supposed to go. But then I got some people here. If you got the check right here, I'll take it. I can take it now if you got it. So, but you can only donate so much, so you can't be donating too much money.
Oh, don't worry about that.
But then you can donate over and over and over and over and over. But you just have a certain amount you can donate and stuff. And then, can I ask for donations? Y'all, if you want to be a part of Team Herschel, you give it to them all right. But I know, I didn't come in to get donations. That was not the reason I was here. Because now they're going to write a thing. Herschel's here to raise the money. I wasn't here to raise money. I'm just so happy to be back in Athens.
Yay.
And I tell you guys are my family. I don't care what color you are. State of Georgia, that's my family. I was taught from my parents to take care of your family. And that's why I said, I'm going to fight. I'm going to fight and take care of my family. And they want me on that wall. And they need me on that wall. And I tell you what, I'm going to fight. I'm not just going to settle for whatever they're doing right now, because it's not right. Yeah, another one, sorry. Oh, yeah, one more question.
One more.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you explain to us a little bit about the Herschel Walker Award?
Oh, the Herschel Walker Award. The Herschel Walker Award is an award given to businessmen that start from humble beginnings. And it's like the first generation. I'll give you an example. Dan Clarke, who's a good friend of mine, can't make the Herschel Walker Award because his father, Truett, came in first. And we give about $235 million in scholarships over the last couple of years. So I got inducted into it because of because I was a good businessman, and I give back and stuff. And it's just been something that it's like the Heisman Trophy for business people. And I got inducted the day that they said that there was a debate. So I had to wait a thing. Do I go to a debate to help people promote that don't want to promote themselves? Or do I go to the Herschel Walker Award, which is like this right here? And but then my candidates are running are good people.
Ronald Reagan was a Horatio.
Well,
Dr. Ben
Ronald
Carson
Reagan,
was a
Ben
Horatio.
Carson, George Bush. That was a bunch of people. I'm not sure how I made it because I'm from Wrightsville, Georgia. Y'all know that? Wrightsville, Georgia only has a Dairy Queen and a Piggly Wiggly. But listen to this little white kid from Wrightsville, Georgia get a chance to travel around the world.
Yeah.
This is in America that this can happen. And now I'm going to tell you something that I told someone the other day. You want to talk about racism. Think about this. 10 years before Herschel Walker came to the University of Georgia, the first black player got a chance to play at the University of Georgia. 10 years later, I'm winning a Heisman Trophy, which means that we are going forward. Now, we may not be going as fast as some people want us to go, but we're moving forward. Let's not let people take us back.
Yes.
And that's what they're doing. They're taking us back now. When they say defund the police, like, whoa, can't defund the police. We're not Wild Wild West. Let's not defund the military. Like, wait a minute, we don't fund the military guys. We're gonna have some problems. Let's not teach our kids. Let's not teach our kids. Wait, you better start educating your kids. Education is an equalizer. And you know what you got to do with education? You should put the money in the student, not the student.
Yes.
Put the money in the student so every student can get an education. I want to get an education. And I'm going to tell y'all something else. I'm probably going to get off key, and this is for a soundbite for what channel, whatever? 5. For channel 5. All right, I was shocked with this Roe versus Wade.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you the reason I was shocked. I was shocked because a leaker let it out before it was finished. The judge didn't even finish the thing, but he let it out. Remember, over the last year, leakers have let everything out. But we're not holding nobody accountable for doing that, making this country go nuts.
That's right.
So I think we need to find a leaker. And then, I'm going to tell you something you may not know also. Do you know there's more African-American black people being aborted? But have you seen the people that are protesting? Majority of them was white.
Yes.
And I was like, whoa, that's kind of interesting. Guys, all they're doing is trying to get emotional because it's voting time.
Yeah.
Remember, my senator said he's going to give a gas tax. Well, you're the one that brought it up to $2 and something. Now you're going to give me a quarter back? That means I'm still $1.75 in the hole. And then you start thinking of all these great things he's going to do for you now, Why didn't you vote to keep the pipeline?
That's right.
Why didn't you vote to do all these other things? Because why don't we become proactive rather than reactive? Because I can promise you, when we start doing that, this country's gonna get back on the right foot.
Yes.
When Americans start to lead, we're gonna be on the right foot because we're one of the newest countries ever. Think about it. But yet, our economy was better than anyone. But yet, our national security was better than anyone. All these great things this country had, and we were one of the newest. It meant that we were headed in the right direction. Right now, let's not let them take us back. And that's the reason I'm running. God bless you guys. Thank you now. Thank you.